Could you please hold this for me? I found that it's much easier for an image to resonate with others if they can actually see it rather than just hearing a description. That is a photograph I took of two drifters I knew once, whom I met not very far from here. I would tell you their names, but they never told me what they were. I guess that's not particularly important though now. It's an interesting story. I'll do my best to remember all of it. But I can't remember how all of you got in here anyway. But it's no use to do anything about it. So I suppose it will do no harm if I recount this tale. Make of it what you will. Though I must warn you, I'm not the best at imparting any sort of lesson. Now, as I was saying, I took the photograph of two people I met in an area not very far from here. It has had various names over the years, but these names can ultimately be narrowed down only one: the North Country. It's somewhat difficult to explain exactly what it is, even after navigating it for longer than I can remember. The North Country is a place where people usually go only if they want to get somewhere else. Nobody ever stays there for too long, for it has a tendency to distort everything around it. I knew a lot of wonderful people who made the very mistake of staying there for too long without anywhere to go. It gets dark really early up there in the North Country. When you walk along the road at night, everything becomes black. There are no lights, there are no vehicles. There might be a few other people on the road in front of you, but the odds of actually seeing them are incredibly rare. And as you walk along, you might sometimes look up and see the outlines of the trees and the dense foliage of the forest as a darker black against the black you thought was as dark as it could possibly be. It becomes very difficult to remember anything else once you see it. It's grim up north, that it is. And I myself would go there from time to time, never for too long, but enough to really let the place sink in. Why did I go there when I necessarily didn't have to do so? I went in search of people, travelers, document with my camera, trying to capture every emotion they displayed with each shot. Some of them were simply passing through. Others were quite aimless. Meeting those people was more sobering, if anything. They lost their will to move forward. It was a tragedy, really, to see them plodding forward without so much as a thought towards the saddening sights going on all around them. Lots of them were quite expressive, though. Anyway, I met two wanderers one evening, a small bridge crossing. I was quite lucky, actually. I was just about to go home when I saw them from a way off, plodding along and carrying this large trunk they had. What did I see in them? Well, I can't really remember myself, but I saw something, which is as good a reason as any to tell this story.
That should do it for tonight.
It's getting colder.
I didn't even notice. Cold, that's all it is.
Cold that can kill you if given a chance.
Cold that keeps you going in search of warmth, if anything else.
Well, it hardly matters now. We've stopped.
Don't worry, it won't be too bad.
Maybe.
Any word from the others?
The others? Of course not. And if you ask me, we probably won't hear from them again.
We left pretty quickly, didn't we?
We had to. You know why?
Don't you think, in a way, that we're fortunate to be here?
Here?
Well, here as in being around, being on Earth, you know? There's always a chance to leave, isn't there? And isn't that better than not being around to go anywhere else anyway?
I suppose.
But either way, let's not bring it up again.
As they were wandering listlessly along the road at night, I'd already been frequenting the area for some time. As you can probably tell, they'd only been there for a few weeks, if anything. I only know about this exchange because they told me about it later. But before we continue, I must confess that occasionally my memories are not the most trustworthy. Things flow in and out of my mind without warning. But I still believe that this is how it all went.
Not bad tonight.
Still quite dark.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Interesting night.
Yes, I find I never run out of things to notice. How about you?
It's actually a very important night for us.
Notable, you might say.
Very interesting. And why is that?
Well, it's more personally significant than anything else.
It's a night we lost something. Something from a while ago.
Oh, really? And what was that?
Well, we don't really talk about it much, but
It has to do with something that happened sometime before this. Something from where we were originally.
Well, where are you from?
it might as well be nowhere. I'm afraid it hardly matters now.
We left.
Are you trying to get back there by any chance?
Yes, or at least that's our hope eventually.
By the way, what's that in your hand?
Oh, it's a camera. Actually, I was about to ask, do you mind if I take your photograph?
A photograph?
I suppose there's no harm in it. By the way, what is this for?
If you don't mind us asking.
Oh, it's just my chosen career. I enjoy it, I guess. I'm not entirely sure of what else there's to be said.
That's understandable.
Really?
Of course. There are many things in our lives which are self-evident. Why pain yourself with trying to exhume them further?
I must say, your admission to that is actually refreshing.
Don't you have things important to you that you keep locked away somewhere, even if it might disappear?
It's important. We observe it momentarily when we must, and we allow it to go where it may. Just because we forget doesn't mean it didn't happen.
And what might that be for you?
Well, we'll find out in time, won't we?
I suppose. Before you go though, there's something else about the photographs. Usually my subjects like seeing their own portrait. Would you like to see yours?
Why not?
We don't have anywhere else to go.
All right then. And it did turn out nicely, don't you think? I saw them a couple more times after that, though the details of these interactions remain fuzzy in my mind. That's the other thing about the North Country. Time slips from your grasp. Months pass, and you think they only lasted for a minute. It was a long, long time before I saw them again.
What's that?
A map. It's about as useful as you might expect. It's silly even consulting it.
I don't remember seeing that. Where did you get it?
I found it by the bridge when we met that interesting traveler.
The one with the camera?
Yes.
There's a character if I ever saw one. She seemed nice, but aimless.
Aimless. You don't know how much that word has been haunting my thoughts lately.
What do you mean?
Do you remember where we're supposed to be going?
Of course I do. Oh, well, it escapes me right now, but I'm sure I'll think of it soon. It's quite important.
Don't hide it. You've forgotten. And so have I. How long has it been since we started passing through this place?
I'm afraid I can't seem to remember that either.
And have we done anything besides passing through?
I don't think so.
And where exactly are we trying to go?
I don't know.
Then I must ask, are we even trying to leave here at all?
Of course we are. Come now, don't say such things.
Don't say what things. We can't stop pretending. We've forgotten why we're here. We've forgotten where we're going. We've forgotten if anyone's waiting for us. And if there are, they've probably forgotten us as well. We keep walking in circles, stopping and starting again and again until we stop for good. We are less than a footnote within the work of existence. And when we're gone, the world forgets us too. What more is there left? Tired and more tired. That's all I feel nowadays. Oh, hello. It's you again.
Hello.
Have you done anything interesting lately?
I suppose it's all a matter of relativity, but I try to see everything as interesting in some way. What's the point of life otherwise?
You may be right, but I fear we're no longer able to notice. We were just talking about it before we ran into you.
A truly dreadful situation.
I'm sorry to hear that. Goodness knows how many people I met here that end up the same way.
And end up that way with definitely well, it seems.
Well, I'm afraid there is not much I can do, but I might just do what I do the best. Do you mind if I take your photograph once more?
Of course not. It hardly matters now.
Do you like how they turn out?
Yes, they're all wonderful in their own way.
Did you hear that? At least we gave somebody a feeling of happiness.
I just wanted to tell you, when you asked me why I took photographs in the first place, I didn't really give you a reason besides that I wanted to. But I thought about it more since that time, and I really believe there's something else to it. It allows people to remember you, a part of you anyway. All these photographs create their own scenes regardless of the truth behind them or their context. People might see this long after the two of you have left and have no idea of what your situation was or how you acted. But they just might find their own version of how everything transpired. And because of this, you might remain alive forever in some capacity, cast in roles and situations you never would have dreamed of before. I can't guarantee anything, but one can always hope for the best.
Well, it's better than what we have now, isn't it?
Yes. Thank you for that one certainty.
I guess that's my humble gift to you, for letting me document your likenesses. I know it doesn't mean much now, but these things have a tendency to lay in wait and blossom when the time is right.
Let's hope so.
Well, I'll be on my way. I hope the two of you find what you're looking for.
Hopefully we do.
You know, it's funny. I've never been such a fan of self-portraiture. I feel you lose a certain sense of objectivity that you get from another subject when you take a picture of yourself. But to be able to be transformed into whatever the weaver desires of you is a wonderful thing, isn't it? And I can at least give that. Well, isn't that something? People on display with their own lives and deeds. Yet still, they can take any form you want when you look at them. And there I was, in the midst of it, completely unseen. But maybe
We look quite nice, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Should we keep going some more?
No, I don't think it will make any difference. Besides, this place looked quite nice. At least nice enough to turn for the night.
All right. It's a nice night anyway.